You know, Jamie, the last mullet that we had in the Nationwide Series before it got cut off resulted in a championship.
I like it.
Might not be a bad deal. We're joined by now Travis Pastrana and his new mullet here at Richmond International Raceway. A big weekend for Travis. Made the K&N East first start here last year at this race. Going to run in the race this evening, just coming off practice. Close to home a little bit, maybe Dover's a little closer, but ish, close to home. But also the much anticipated, long awaited Nationwide Series debut tomorrow here as well. So getting some laps in the K&N race, running in that Nationwide race finally. So talk about what it's like to make it to this point at last.
No, it's definitely been a really long time coming. You know, we felt like we were fairly prepared last year coming in. Just really was looking forward to getting that first start in Indianapolis, and you know, hurt myself. And it's been since that race. It's all I've been thinking about is just, you know, getting in here and starting the Nationwide and seeing what's going on. I mean, the K&N's been great. You know, been learning a lot. Doing a lot of testing with the Nationwide car. Now with RAB, you know, in conjunction with all the guys that have been really helping out still through Michael Waltrip. It's been, and Matt Crafton, it has been a long road of, hey, how are you going to do? When are you going to race? I'm like, I really don't know. And you know what? We're going to go out here, and I finally get a chance to have some fun tomorrow. So I'm really pumped.
Tonight's K&N race, Travis will be in the 99 iRacing Toyota, and then tomorrow for the Virginia 529 College Savings 250 in the number 99 Boost Mobile Toyota. If you have questions for Travis, we've got the wireless mic. Ashley will bring it to you, and please give us your name and affiliation before you ask.
I'm scared.
Don't be scared, Travis. How long have I been asking you questions?
Yeah,
Jamie
that's why
Little,
I'm scared.
ESPN. Up to this point, you haven't done a pit stop yet. Have you guys had a chance to practice at all? And are you confident in your abilities?
Yep, definitely. No green flag pit stops. Had a couple pit stops here and there, but it's really cool because my cousin Greg was going to be my rear tire carrier, and he worked his way up from the bottom at Waltrip. He's been working 2 years, and then when we switched to RAB, it's Stuart Haas, and he was like all disappointed. He went and he did a tryout, and he worked his way up, and he was in the last 2 weeks got the spot as my front tire carrier. So it's kind of cool that my cousin will be there in the pits, and everyone's like, how's he going to do? I said, well, he'll probably be a better closer to a tire carrier than I'll be to the. He'll be closer to the best tire carrier than I am to the best racer. So we're going to work our way up from wherever we start from, and we'll do it as a team. So I think the pit stop is going to be, it's going to be something that we'll probably lose time on. But I'd rather lose time a couple tenths of a second than have to do a stop and go. So we'll see what happens. That's probably what I'm most nervous about in this race is actually the pit stops. Any green flag pit stops, I'll be really nervous. So
Go with David, and then we'll go with Hank.
yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. David Newton, ESPN.com. Can you talk about the mullet, how you let Jimmy Johnson come at you with a pair of shears?
Yeah, I mean, probably not the best sponsor move I could have made for the biggest event in my entire life. But no, it's pretty funny because look, we're here to have to race and to do the best we can, but we're also here to have a good time. And it was really neat that Jimmy took the time and he's like, hey, let's do something fun. And I said, all right, we kind of thought about it. And my granddad did an ice dive where he dove through the ice and up on the other side, and then my dad did it. And I said, well, that's something that's pretty crazy that I've want to get off the bucket list that shouldn't hurt me unless we get lost, and then that shouldn't still hurt me. I'll just be frozen under the ice. So we decided that seemed like the only thing that I can really do now. And now I have a mullet, and I got to keep this mullet until I win something. I'm thinking that to keep my marriage, I might have to go to a go-kart track after this weekend. But hopefully, I'm really looking forward to the K&N race and seeing if I can hopefully get that chopped off the end of the day today.
Your motor coach bus, Denny Hamlin was saying the first thing you notice when you go to the lot is a bright yellow. Is it the same one you've used before with your other driving, or is this a new bus, or what?
No, it's awesome. I've had that fifth wheel for probably 7 years now. And no, it's good. I mean, all my friends always travel around. They always go to out to California. That bus has been back and forth across the country. It just Hubert, everyone's favorite redneck on the show. He's been driving it around, just stopping by places, riding dirt bikes everywhere. And he got me a golf cart as a surprise because all the NASCAR guys seem to have really sweet golf carts. So that was his gift to me. And so I got a cool golf cart, and I got most of my friends. Unfortunately, are going to be coming up, or not unfortunately, but. I have some pretty rowdy friends and all the Nitro Circus crew. So there'll be about 100 of them all with mullets here at this weekend's race after they saw that video. So it'll be pretty entertaining.
Hank Hers, Associated Press. One of the people in here before was kind of comparing you to almost Danica Patrick, and just in terms of the buzz and stuff. Do you kind of feel that? Do you feel pressure to perform, to not make it look like a publicity stunt or something like that, and just to show that you can do this?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, it's as a racer, I've always felt like a racer. I know I've gone to Nitro Circus and done X Games and everything, which is a show, and you have to be able to have fun with it. But I figure, you know what? I'm going to go out, I'm going to try my hardest, and there's going to be a lot of people that understand what you're doing. There's going to be a lot of people that don't. There's going to be people that don't like stuff you do, or stuff that really like stuff you do. And it's, you know, for me, obviously the mullet, everything, like it looks like fun and games on the outside, but anyone that's ever been to the top of any sport knows how much work it takes to get there, and I'm willing to put in that work, and it's not going to be overnight. I realize that, you know, I mean, everyone's like, oh, so how you doing? You're going to, check first or last? You're going to try to win? I'm like, look, everyone out there is going to try to win. I'm going to try, as hard as anybody else, and, every driver has that belief that they can do it. But, a goal for me for this first race, if like a goal that it would be very, very difficult to reach would be to stay on the lead lap. And, that's where we're coming in, and that's where we're starting and saying, okay, and even if we don't, okay, that's the goal for the next weekend. I got to make every single lap of these races. I got to get as much experience as I can. And, I'm going to be picked on or made fun of, or I'm sure I'm going to crash some people. I'm going to be a lot of the stories of the topics, and then everything's going to fade away. And it's up to me at that point to find the sponsorship. And I think we got great people around us to keep coming back to these races, even after people don't care. And I'm going to figure out, how to get to the top of this sport. And that's where I want to go.
Go to Doug Demmons, Jeff Gluck, maybe a follow-up from Jamie, and then over here to Charlie Leffler.
Hey, Travis. Much has been made about your debut in Nationwide being significant because your fan base is much younger, and NASCAR's fan base has been trending much older lately. What would you think would be some reasons, just in your mind, in your opinion, about why younger folks don't seem to or haven't been as attracted to NASCAR?
Action sports are great, and even motocross, your whole following, almost every single person from 3 years old on up to 50 has gone to a motocross track that's a fan of motocross, and they've ridden. Everyone has jumped on a skateboard. People can't really relate to what it's like to slide around a corner 3 wide at 200 miles an hour. Having said that, I got so much, I've probably never been ridiculed more from an industry to come to NASCAR, which is ironic, but as all those guys are coming, I brought 10 buddies to Daytona who gave me flack all the way down. And that first car came by on that first green flag lap. Every single one of those guys is hooked. Every single one of those guys is going to be here. Every one of those guys will be at Dover, and they're bringing more people. And I think it's a matter of just coming out, experiencing it, and experiencing it with someone that knows. I mean, if you're just sitting in the stands, you don't really understand. But if you get you get your headset on with whatever, you have someone to relate to. I mean, even, if it's Danica Patrick or if it's Ricky Carmichael, unfortunately now is, had some sponsorship or whatever, trying to get back. But I think it's easier for someone to come in that can relate to something. And for me, this is the most competitive sport in the world. All these guys are competitive. They don't give it the benefit of the doubt because they just see it on TV and they don't understand it. For me, my goal is to do well, because it doesn't matter how big a fan base you have. If you suck, nobody's going to follow you after a while. So my goal is not necessarily to work on the press side of it, but to work on my driving side of it.
Jeff Buck from SBNation.com. You talked about the industry ridiculing you and stuff for coming over here. Well, how about your fans? I mean, they have to be kind of confused in some ways, because I'm sure a lot of them are not NASCAR fans, and they see you tweeting about it and see you on TV doing this stuff now. Like, what do you think their reaction has been? What do you hear from them as far as this move and getting ready to do this? And I mean, you're obviously committed. How do you think they feel about it? What do they make of it?
Completely mixed reaction. I mean, there's obviously NASCAR. For everyone saying, "Oh, NASCAR needs younger audience," that may be true, but you guys still have your demographic is so much bigger than anything that we have in action sports. It's just our action sports is just a younger demographic. It was cool. Like, I was actually at a Subway, and the guy came up. He's like, "Hey, my son was always action sports. I've always been trying to get him, to watch NASCAR. Now we have something we can do together," which is like, for me, that that goes a long way. Like, that's a pretty neat thing. But it's not. I wouldn't say a matter of fans not liking NASCAR. It's a matter of fans not understanding NASCAR. When it started back in David Pearson and even Earnhardt and whatever, I mean, it was just rowdy. These guys were racing, they're wild, they're whatever. It's become much more of a as as it needs to be with money and sponsors and everything that comes in. It's a much it doesn't get that 16-year-old, oh, I'm gonna go peel the tires and cause some havoc and go fast. It doesn't have that same image anymore, but it's still at the core of it. It's still racing. It's still fast. It's still fun, and it's still exciting.
Travis, your whole life, basically, you've raced on dirt. And I know you always would say to me, concrete is not my friend. Asphalt is not my friend. But I'm curious how your dirt background is going to help you, do you think, in maybe a nationwide car, and how it's helped you in the K&N series so far?
It's helped a lot in that we actually haven't, they said, oh, the second with the radial tires, when you get sideways, you're done. And I've had some full corner drifts and been able to save it. So, and that end, I'm okay. But I think for me, my biggest challenge, like you said, even supermoto, even on motorcycles, everything to figure out how to do pavement, it's been different. And you know what? It is a huge challenge. And do I know a lot about pavement? Heck no. On the rally races that were the pavement races, I always did a lot worse. We always felt like the looser the gravel, the more sideways the car was, the more out of control. If they raced in the rain, I'd be tickled to death right now. But that's not what it is, and this is what I signed up for. Everyone's like, oh, well, if it was like this, you'd do better. I'm like, right, but guess what? It's like this, and this is the way we're going to try to go out, and we're going to try to do the best we can, and we're going to learn it.
Travis, Charlie Leffler, Mechanics for Local. Considering how long it's been for you to get to this nationwide race and what happened to keep you from getting to it the first time, will there be a sense of caution going into the K&N race tonight to make sure nothing happens?
Man, I mean, if you're out there racing, no excuses. Always, anybody that says, oh, I can't do that because I got a job on Monday. I do, although understand that a lot more now than I did before I hurt myself at X Games. If you sign up, if you go out there, then you're committed. And you know what? Definitely going to go out and do the best we can. I'm hoping to win that thing. We felt really good in practice. We were 8th quickest on the first practice, but car was good on the long runs. And if I could cut my mullet by the end of tonight, I would be the happiest person in the world. So yeah, I'm going like hell in that K&N race.
Other questions for Travis? All right. Thanks for your time, and good luck tonight and tomorrow as well.